Okay, so we're going to look at some presentation techniques. So let's imagine that we have got a completely random shape. Of course, I'm going to start with a cuboid. From that cuboid, let's take a little cut out of this back corner, or this front right corner, sorry. Making sure everything is parallel. Cool, that's been cut away. Let's take a cut out of this front corner as well. Let's go for a different kind of angle. And let's add a little cylinder on, it's not a cylinder, let's add a little circular cutout as well. So on here, building some of the skills that we've got our ellipse on there, like so. And then technically there'd be, it's being cut away on the inside, extrude cut, we could call it. There would also be a construction box back here for our cylinder that's been cut out. See that line? That's all we'd see. You can then draw over this line here, like this, and I'm going to stop there. So, how do we make this stand out presentation-wise? Now, line weight number 1, line weight number 2, line weight number 3. 1, super light. 2, a bit darker. 3, technically, actually, we'd probably use something like a fine liner for our third weight line, okay? Like so. So the first thing to do is think about how we use these lines. 1 has been our construction and building the box, and building the initial lines that we've got. 2 is the next stage of lines. So a 2 line weight is, if you imagine we've got this face and this face, and you had a spider, it can crawl over onto the top and you can still see it. Okay, so this line stays as a line weight number 2. The spider could crawl over from here to here and you would still see the spider. Same with this bottom corner, crawling along this face onto here, you would still see it. Same with this face here. If the spider went from here over there, we'd still see it. And the same down here, if it crawled onto that point. Same up here, because as it crawls over this face, we can still see it. And the same with this corner here, we'd still see it. The same goes with this part around here, which I've already done, and with this line there. Now, if the spider went from here to here, around this corner, we wouldn't see it. Same if it went over this corner, we wouldn't see it. Around the back, over the top, underneath, around there, over there, we wouldn't see any of them. So they become a line weight number 3, like this. Draw it up, come along, draw it up, along there. Oh, that's such a bad line. Anyway, see what I'm saying? I've missed this one, and I've also missed this one. There's another one that I missed. Yes, this line just there, because as it goes around, you would lose it. That's a little bit of ambiguous, a bit dubious there in terms of if you were to draw that line, how far would it go, how far would it stop? But that's fine for now. So there is our line weight number 3. As you can see, it makes it stand out a lot better. You also may want to label things. So a nice squiggly arrow, and let's call that construction, because that line weight is, as it says in number 1, a construction line. We could then say that these here, this is quite a nice section, let's go there. We could call that, let's go spider. A spider line weight. Pretty stupid name, but we're going with it. And then finally, we can have our line weight number 3, which we can say is our outline. All of these are horizontal along the page, and they're all in capital letters, as you can see. Find your own unique style. If you want to underline them, put 2 lines, completely up to you. Find your own arrows, but make sure that they are neat and accurate. As soon as you start going with perfectly straight arrows, it looks a bit formulaic. Okay, so try and find something that looks a little bit more freestyle. From there, you want to add some shading potentially. Okay, and imagine our light is coming from here. We've spoken about shadows, so you could do a really detailed shadow, or you could think about where the dark and light is on this. Okay, so this face here is going to be much darker. Okay, and a nice way of shading is to use something called cross-hatching. Cross-hatching is basically when you're just adding lines to go darker, you could then add some lines in a different direction. And this is going to be quite a dark point, dark face, because of how the light coming from here is going to hit this other side in the top face. This part in here is going to be pretty dark. So we can have multiple lines in different directions. This is also going to be pretty dark in there too. Now you want to be careful because you don't want the lines to go in the same direction, because otherwise it could look a little bit odd, shall we say. So I'm just going to go with that, and I'm going to add some cross-hatching in that direction. That doesn't really help with the eye. You want them to be going across, but it makes it look a little bit darker. This is going to be dark down here. And you get the idea. I'm not going to bore you. This is what you want to think about for your shadows, this face, etc. From there, you can very quickly just do a rough shadow. So we imagine that that's coming over here. We imagine that this is coming over here. We're going to have some form of, if we had the light point down here, these shadows coming out, you could have some kind of shadow. I don't know, it might look, we're just guessing here, it might look like this. Then you can do like a really rough shadow as well. Some people, to make it stand out, like to put a colourful box just in a random place. So maybe this back point, maybe you draw a random box over here, like this. And then I haven't actually got a colouring pencil with me, but with my highlighter, no, let's not use a highlighter, that would look awful. Let's go with this little purple pen I've got. Is this pen going to be awful? You might want to have a colourful box that you'd use with a colouring pencil and probably shade it in much better than this, just to make it stand out and pop off the page a little bit. Again though, thinking about this, what have we got? We've got good vertical lines, as you can see here. We've got really good lines going back in our right direction, so our isometric fundamentals are always on show. We've got our blue lines going off to the left to the right vanishing point as well. Okay, so presentation technique there. Good shadows, proper line weights, 3 for the outside where a spider you wouldn't be able to see it anymore, 2 for lines that you would crawl over a spider you can still see it, 1 for your construction lines, capital letters for your for your lettering, squiggly lines with arrows pointing to things for labeling, and obviously some cross-hatching with some basic shading, and potentially this stupid thing that I put on at the end. But you know what? We're going with it. If you do it better than me, it will look a lot better. So nice way to present, have a little go, find your own style. There's lots of different ways you can go about it. You can add color, you can add shading, you can add different line weights and other options. So yeah, have fun with it and test yourself.